So, Mr. Kimball, if you want to just briefly kind of summarize your project, and we all hopefully I saw the pictures and some people went by, but if you could just briefly summarize your project and then we'll discuss and vote.
Sure. We're wanting to put in a 24-foot above ground pool in our backyard. And it would be directly behind the house. Originally, we were talking directly behind the house, directly behind the deck. The question in concern, or what came into question was after the soil sample that our original proposal was too close to the lines for the soil sample, and that was the last we discussed.
Okay, so go ahead.
I have a, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have a question. Is it going where the trampoline is now? Because it's hard to tell based on your rough sketch in the pictures how they relate. Are you going to take the trampoline out and put it there? Is that where it's going?
Yeah, I left the trampoline in the picture to give a visual that it would be going, the trampoline would be going there. And then if you saw in the pictures, there was like, kind of looked like a hedge of weeds that went in like a half circle around the back. It wouldn't go beyond that. So it would go where the trampoline is, and then it would have originally ended where that like hedge of weeds is.
Yeah, I have another question. It looked like a whole bunch of trees had been cut down. Is that, it appears, I mean, there's no flags to relate to, but it appears it was in the wetlands, is it?
There was from last summer to a couple of months ago, lots of trees fell down. There were a lot of dead trees in the area, so we had to clean up some trees, and there's still a lot of dead trees in there. There is all the pink flags on all the bushes and trees. I was concerned that those weren't showing up very well in the picture, but those pink flags are there in those pictures.
So that basically, even though it's close, is outside the wetlands. Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
I could not find a flag, but is it inside or outside the wetlands?
the
Cut trees.
Oh, the trees. The trees fell into the wetlands. They were already in the wetlands, and they fell into the wetlands.
Okay, so you did cut them down, they fell and you cut them up.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's, you answered my question.
Other questions for Mr. Kimball? So from your drawing and from your application, this is really, you're just putting this pool in this space that we've discussed, and you're having a pool company do it professionally?
Yeah, we, excuse me, we bought the pool through Namco. There's a gentleman in his company by the name of Bob Florio, and he's the one who's going to install it. We're just waiting on all the permits. And it's a pool where it would not be dug into the ground in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't need to be. So they said they put about 6 inches of dirt, just for the liner and everything. Other than that, the land wouldn't be disturbed.
And this actually gets back to Dave's question on trees. You're not, because any trees in the wetland area really, if they fall down, that's one thing, but being cut down, they shouldn't. So the pool people aren't suggesting, and you aren't planning to cut down any trees. Is that right?
Yeah, no, I don't need to. I have, it's a gated backyard. The gate is wide enough to get the little tractor that they need to get in. The pool came in boxes. So the pool is actually sitting in my shed in boxes. It came delivered on a pallet. So when the pool guys, or when the installers come, no, they won't go behind the fence at all.
Okay. all right, so this is close to the wetland. There's a limited amount of fill. It looks like the area where you're having this is relatively flat. Are there any, are there any other questions or comments from other agency members before we take action on this application?
Well, I haven't been out there, but it sounds as if, is there a fence between the pool and the wetlands? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, there's it's like a chicken wire that goes like in a half circle from on either side of the house is a black wrought iron fence, locked fence that,
Yeah.
and then in a half circle going around the entire backyard is this like chicken wire type fence, and then the wetlands is beyond that.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, I'd be happy to entertain a motion on this application.
Well, I think given that those trees fell down and were not cut down, I want to emphasize to Mr. Kimball that cutting inside the wetlands of any live tree is not prohibited. So, but based on the fact that they fell down, I take the word from him. I'll make a motion, we approve the application as presented.
I'll second it.
All right. Any comments or discussion? I will second what Dave said. It is, a lot of people don't realize, but you really can't do any kind of tree cutting or other things in wetlands. And so hopefully what sunshine you have now will be great enough for the pool.
No, it honestly, it looks kind of weird because one of the main trees was from the storm last summer. And then the other two honestly were from a couple of months ago with the snow and everything. And then
Yeah, they look like a couple of them were hollow, so.
very concerning. Yeah, it's shocking.
I would make one comment that I
Sure.
drove by the house.
Yeah,
And I found it very difficult to assess the information you gave us because we were not allowed to go on the property. In the future, if you're going to do something back there, you better rethink that.
okay.
And that's my personal opinion, not the commission's.
Duly noted.
Okay, so we've had a motion and a second. All those in favor of the application, let's see, let me get this
Aye.
application. 21-16. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? No, this is 4 of us. Okay. All right, you have your permit. So thank you and enjoy your pool.
Thank you very much.
Oh, John, wait. You're muted.
John, you're on mute.
You're still muted.
So just so the applicant understands that this approval will be published, he publishes this and we're in a newspaper now. So once that gets published, there's a 15-day waiting period. So you can't start putting the pools up like tomorrow. I just want you to be aware of that. So I think Maria will probably let you know, you're gonna have to publish that, but she'll give you the instructions. And then, she'll give you the 15 days, when that's up, then I can approve it as a zoning permit, and then you'd be able to put the pool up. Just so you know not to put it up right away.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, so that was our first agenda item. So for receipt only tonight is application 14-13, modification Neck Road. Do we have someone speaking for that? Okay, Mr. Etzel? You're muted. Okay, no, we can't hear you.
How's
There
that?
you go. Yep, that's great.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your time, everyone. This is an application to change an existing right-of-way on a parcel of land that was one of 4 parcels that were submitted to the agencies in 2014. And there are record maps on file. One of the properties was over on Stone Road. That is not part of it. One was 251 Neck Road. That wasn't part of it. This involves the 2 in-between parcels, Lot 1, which is in my wife's name, and Lot 2, which is in the name of Pamela DeArc and Andrew Corwin, who also have a budding property on Stone Road on the other side. The question is a right-of-way that has been granted to the owners of Lot 2 across lot number 1. So across my wife's parcel to the other side. The original proposal included a number of different things. There was also some coastal wetlands that was donated as part of the original application. This particular situation is just the 2 inner pieces. And the placement by Criscola Engineering of where a house could be located is as far south on lot number 1 as possible. That is the water side, not the Neck Road side. It is as close to the sidelines with a 12-foot variance kept in the 12-foot setback kept in place. And what happens when you look at where the house can go, where it was approved, to where the right-of-way begins from the original 2014 submittal, there's somewhere around 38 feet distance between the front of the house and the right-of-way. And this is on a piece of land, most of which is wetlands, but it's on a piece of land that's over 1.5 acres. Not that it's of any concern to the commission, but parenthetically, the lot's been for sale for the past bunch of months. And the comments from the realtors have been, you've got a real problem because of how close the right-of-way is to the house. So the question that we had then was, how can we come up with an alternative that respects the existing wetlands, does not go near them, further that it stays outside of the non-disturbance lines. And that's what we came up with in the drawing that was submitted to you. There is a complication in the sense that the original right-of-way is 25 feet wide. And I'm giving you 2 proposals as one, and I apologize for the confusion, but I felt it was probably just as well to have you be as confused as I am. Maybe together we can figure out what to do. But if you look on the east side of the map, you'll see that there's 2 25-foot sections. Again, none of which are outside the non-disturbance line. The reason that there's 2 parts to this is because of the consideration of the owners of Lot 2, who have expressed a request that they be allowed to consult with their architect to see which particular right-of-way would be the most favorable from their point of view. So in speaking with the people at Criscola, what we decided to do was give you an idea what the thinking was to show the departure from the right-of-way from Neck Road across on a diagonal from what it used to be before, which will remain the same regardless of which of the two or both that would be approved. So I probably have botched this, but maybe you have some questions that I can answer that would help the understanding. Well, parenthetically, we met with Rich Snarsky, Soils, and also had informal only help from John DeLora with questions we had about the procedure, and for that we're grateful. So so that's where we are. Again, the summary is that we'd like to move the right of way. It's in a very difficult position in respect with the wetlands and the staying outside the non-disturbance line. We think that's a reasonable approach that hopefully would meet with the commission's approval.
Go ahead, Lee. Oh, you're muted though.
Thanks. I'm sorry, but I can't pull up the drawing. Can somebody show the drawing? Is that something you can do, John? Or
Maria, can you do that?
You can see this, but
We'll pull it up, David.
what's that?
We
Okay,
can pull it up.
okay.
We'll share the screen. Maria should be able to share the screen. We'll try it. This is new for us. It's like
Okay,
first inning, so bear with us.
you bet.
I think it's important to see the what was approved and what the modification is, though. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I do think that is important. I remember this application and I remember that site well. And my
Let me
understanding
know if this is the right one.
is that the non-disturbance line isn't changing. You're not messing with that at all. Is that right?
That's correct. We're totally outside of that. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. So the original is the straight line down?
The cross-hatched portion
Okay,
that runs north-south on the picture, which actually is east-west.
right. Okay.
That's
And
it.
then, yeah, and then you have you have one 90-degree and one diagonal.
That's
Is that
right.
right?
That's right.
Okay. Is there, and those are just the two options that the engineering firm or whoever has suggested?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. I don't see elevation lines here. Is it, but it's pretty flat. Is that right?
Yes, it is. So
maybe I'm
yeah,
not-
there's a slope from the beach side down to a low point and then back up to Neck Road. So the slope is down. Well, I suppose if you drew a circle around the wetland area, that's the lowest portion.
And this is going to be crushed gravel or paved?
No, gosh, no. Hopefully the intent is that, like so many of the other rights of way down there, that it's has a gravel base for support, but also has grass that grows through it, so it looks as natural as possible.
Is there a house on lot number 2 yet?
I'm sorry?
Is there a house on lot number 2?
No, there is not. The owners have indicated that they have employed an architect and they're planning on building, not next year, but in their words, after the prices go down in 2023.
2025.
Right.
Anyway,
So what do people do with these kind of right of ways then for plowing or snow?
Generally, that responsibility, as does maintenance, falls on the people that are the users that have been granted the right of way. The owners do not have that responsibility if they're not using it, is what I'm told by Mr. Beatty, our attorney.
Right, so I get that, but I'm just wondering, well, if, how you plow a grassy gravel driveway well, and
Uh,
where that snow would go.
It goes to the side, depending on which angle it is. You don't, a plow does not disturb the land. If you could picture, you might have the tire track area is going to be slightly lower than the middle just because of use.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of them down there that don't just, that somehow don't have any difficulty with it.
Right, well, then it looks like your more perpendicular option would be better in the sense that you're a little farther away from the wetland. If you're, pushing snow around. But I don't know, other people have, or not pushing snow, but that, it seems that given this drawing is farther away, even though we have the non-disturbance line. And if there is indeed a slope that kind of slopes into the basin of the wetland, then keeping away from it is better.
Is there a house on number 1 yet?
No, there is not. It's listed for sale, and we have an active buyer who's waiting for any recent developments.
So in theory, you can push that perpendicular piece all the way to the back line of the next piece of property.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
Maria, can you zoom in a little bit, please?
The crosshatched piece
Right.
Not
that is
too far.
perpendicular to the main
There we go.
access. Could you
Yeah,
push it to the back of the property that's labeled as Waltzer?
that's my wife's name.
To the south.
I don't know. I mean,
I
the
can point out
original,
on here, but you can't see that.
the original,
I'm just curious.
yeah, the original application included where a house could be built, and that is as far south toward the water as possible. It's the highest ground. If the house were moved further north to the lower area, and you would put a right of way back there, you'd have to satisfy the folks in lot number 2, which might be problematic. So I mean, I suppose you could do it, but you have to reconfigure everything. You'd have to start all over again.
And so the original right-of-way is just that straight, the straight crosshatch?
Yes, that's correct. 25 feet.
Well, this is for receipt only tonight. So this is a great time for all of us to ask questions. So if anybody else has questions.
Yeah, Mr. Etzel, this is Lee again. And I'm sorry if you said this in your initial comments, but is there going to be a house on lot 1?
Yes, it's listed for sale now. The lot is listed for sale.
And where's the house going to be on lot 1?
Just south, see where it's at? There's a building line in 3 parts there. It's 12 feet on either side, 20 feet from the back line. Right, it's in that section that says 12//103 Stone Road, named Jan Walzer.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Dotted
okay.
line around that. That's it. Yeah, that's where on another page of the original 2014 submittal, you'll see it outlined.
Okay, so that's part of lot 1. I see. I got
Yes.
you. Okay.
Yeah, and then lot number 2 is directly to the bottom of the page, which is in an easterly direction.
I got it. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. Maria, did you also get, I think as part of the submission, a copy of the 2014 whole parcel? Is that possible to tap into that, show everyone that?
John, we have that, right?
So the right of way you want changed because the original one is too close to the proposed house.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. The other is that the whole area, we're thinking, would look a lot nicer if, as long as the wetlands were kept, the distance was kept as where it is, and most especially as long as there was no activity on the non-disturbance line within that, this should make for hopefully something that looks better, satisfies the requirement, the negative reaction from the real estate agent, but also is respectful of what we're trying to do with the rest of the property. Yeah, there's the large one. That's great. Maria, can you reduce that just a tad? Reduce the scale a little bit? Okay, perfect. So right in almost the very center, it says proposed lot 1.
Yep.
And then just to the bottom of the page or the easterly direction is proposed lot 2.
Yep.
There are contour lines on that. If you want to zoom in, you can get to see what they are on both properties. There you go. So it looks like the lowest area, if I'm reading this right, is right below the box that says proposed lot 1. So it's not that close to the southernmost part of the non-disturbance line.
Okay, well, this is helpful. Are there other questions from Lee or Dave or John? Other John, either John? Oh, John Delore, you're still muted.
We might want to consider a sidewalk. It's kind of confusing looking at it from here. Out in the field, it'll be a lot clearer.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. And perhaps the agency wants to take a site walk to actually see what's out there and where these access strips will be in relation to the wetlands and, where your no encroachment line is.
That was going to be my closing comment. We would welcome the opportunity to do that. At the same time, give me guidance on how you'd like to have the different lines. What is important? Is it the line of demarcation? Is it the wetlands? Is it where the driveway is? How best to explain it? In other words, what would you like me to do?
I don't know, John, Delora, what do you think would be most helpful for us to see?
Well, I think there's 3 things here. One is the original access. I think that should be designated with a yellow, stakes with yellow tape. Then the options, if there's 1 or 2, quite frankly, I think this is based on whether or not somebody's going to buy lot 1, and the person who is going to buy lot 1 doesn't want the right of way that was approved originally so close to his house. So he's asking to have it moved away from his house. So where away? So if the existing approved access strip is designated out there, and then in some way, the 2 options. so that the agency can clearly see why the original access strip was approved, and what may compromise the wetlands on either one of the two options.
So let me make sure, let me say it back, correct me if I'm wrong. So take the original right-of-way access and outline that in yellow tape. At the same time, I should probably show you where the location of the house was on the original presentation. And then option 1 and option 2 share the same, what would that be? Northwest to southeast line before they then diverge on a left-hand slant. I'll use different tapes for each one of those, I guess, or might even use a lawnmower to do it as well. Okay, we can do that. When would you like this to be done? When would you first like to look at it?
Well, I can't speak for everyone. It would be ideal for me before the 21st, because I'm out of town.
Oh,
But
no
I
question.
I can see it whenever.
No, that's fine. I just need to coordinate it with the civil engineers to make sure they can put everything where it's supposed to be. And
Right, and that might be too soon. So I might, if I could see the property, if the site walk isn't scheduled for a time when I could make it, perhaps I could just look at it, even if it's not marked, on the few days while I'll be around. But I can coordinate with that differently.
okay, well, why don't I see, I mean, I don't think, hopefully it wouldn't take Criscola more than a week to get this done. So
Yeah. Well,
why don't I,
yeah.
I'll coordinate this with Maria and then she can let everybody know that it's done and ready.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's just my personal schedule. Obviously, there's like a whole bunch of other members who have their own schedules who can speak up, but we can coordinate and get a time that works for most people and make sure that we get out to see it.
Okay, and then you let me know so we can be there to answer any questions that come up.
Right, John. Yeah, John Delora will be our contact,
Good.
I assume.
So far.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and I guess if we have more questions, we'll see you again next month or at the site walk.
That's fine. Anytime.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, so John, I guess, Delora, I guess we'll let you sort that out with him on the site walk.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could be there. If you're leaving, when are you going to be back? The next meeting is not until August 10th.
Oh, it's August 10th?
Yeah.
It's not the 2nd.
Oh, wait a second.
I am,
Yeah, no, it's the second.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be in Madison. I mean, I'll be around until the 20th. I leave on the 21st and I don't get back till August after the meeting. I'll Zoom in though, because I'm actually not home now either. That's the beauty of Zoom. We can do this from anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will try to get out, and if I can't see it when it's marked, maybe
What about this Saturday? How about this coming Saturday, the 17th?
that works. But I don't know. What about
What about the other guy? Yeah.
yeah, everyone else?
I'm just throwing it out there that we could, I'm more than happy to go out there on the 17th if you guys all want to go out there. Now, whether or not he can have it marked, that's another thing. But I think if we encourage him to do that, this is only Monday, so he should be able to get something done by Saturday.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
know, Lee or John.
I don't know. I gotta talk. to other people within the household. So let's say tentatively,
That's it.
yes. Yeah, all right.
All right. Did
All
we
right, we'll
lose?
work it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we can figure it out. Did we lose Dave? Oh,
No,
okay.
Where's
we
Dave?
haven't, we don't have.
All right.
What
Well, can
happened
we?
to-
I don't know. He went into the Zoom void. Sad.
That's where I am.
Can we still go through?
Yeah, the section 13s?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not an application. You just either punish me or you say it was okay.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
vote on-
That was a little too fast. And there's three of those. One is, I think the first one is 9 Sperry Road.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is a 18-foot round above ground pool within 100 feet of a wetland. Turns out it's about somewhere between 20, depends on where you measure it, 27 to 35 feet. And I did a little scale sketch. So there's a couple of photographs, but you really kind of need to see in perspective and in detail and in scale how the pool is, how the grade is, what the components are before you get to the wetlands to understand a little bit. There's Dave. So,
Can you hear me now?
yes,
Somehow it got interrupted. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I could make the 17th if it's in the morning. I heard that. After that, I'm gonna be going until about the 20th, so
okay.
Okay.
It would be in the morning. Yeah,
I could do it on the Saturday morning if they're ready, but that's pretty short notice.
yeah, we gotta get some feedback from the other members too before we do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that.
Do we need to vote on that to receive it or?
Yes, you do.
Need to vote on a
Section
sidewalk.
I'll make a motion, we accept it, or receive it, I should say, and schedule a site walk that has to be done before the next meeting.
I'll second the motion.
That is great. I totally messed that up. Sorry. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of receiving that application?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, just falling apart tonight. Okay. All right. So John, you can fit, so you're doing 9 Sperry Road, and you said that it's helpful to be out there to see the perspective of the wetlands. It's easier to see it when you're out there. I was just getting back to where we were. When you,
No, I think it's pretty, it really is pretty inane. It's not, there's no impact on the wetlands at all. The only thing is when I say, it's between 27 and 35 feet, that sounds like it's really close to the wetlands, but you have to, I think Maria's trying to pull this up. There's some photographs and there's a scale drawing that I did that shows where okay, so there's the idea. So this is the 18, and this is in scale, both vertically and horizontally. So there's an 18-foot diameter above ground pool on crushed stone. There's a very slight pitch to the fence, which is 15 feet away. There's a 3-foot shoulder beyond the fence that's stone. You'll see that in the photographs in a second, and grass. And then there's a large boulder escarpment, I guess, that's 5 feet, that leads down to a landscaped shelf that is about 4 feet that leads to the edge of the wetlands. So the contractor is using, just a small bobcat to come in. It's all accessible. It's all flat grass. It's going to scarf up the sod, put down some crushed stone and sand for leveling, put the pool in place, and that's it. So
Okay,
I didn't think there was any impact on the, any significant impact on the wetlands. Nothing's draining that way. They're not going to be any closer than 27 to 35 feet. And the 5 feet is to the tangent point of the pool.
okay.
And there are some photographs that if Maria can get up, that would be helpful.
Okay. John, have you been out there recently?
Yes.
There are several large piles of chips in there. Is that in the wetlands or close to the wetlands? What's he gonna do with those? Did you notice them, or were they there when you?
He has done landscaping outside the actual edge of the wetland.
Yeah,
I think he is a landscaper, actually. Or, no, he's not. He's a mechanic. But he has
well,
done.
he works for an oil company.
Yeah. So he's got the wood chips there. Yeah, I did see that. This is basically how I saw it when I was there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, there's the fence, there's the boulders, there's the shelf, and then there's the wetland that drops in. And from that fence to where the tangent point of the pool is 15 feet away from the fence.
Oh, okay. You know what? I got the wrong house. I got the one across the street. Now I recognize it. Okay.
Oh yeah, the one across. Yes, the one across the street's got a lot of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forget the last question.
Okay. Thank you.
Well,
There's a couple other photographs too. If you know, if they could be helpful, that'd be good.
well, I saw the photo. I pulled up the photograph earlier. I'm fine. I think it sounds like it's close. It sounds close, but you're right. When you see the layout, it's not. It does look like the pitch does go gently towards the wetland, though.
Very gently.
Okay, so there'll be enough infiltration between there and the wetland.
Well, yeah, the contractor he's I talked with him, and you know, on the proposal, a small bobcat to remove the top side, excuse me. He's going to level for the pool, the base area. Also leveling with sand, placed down on the pool installation requirements. Once the pool is installed, they'll put down grass or straw and hay bales on the new grass planting to prevent runoff from happening. So,
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that's fine. Does anybody else have comments?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, that's good, because I think it was approved.
thank you.
All right, and then you have Country Way, 2118.
Yeah, 119, 2118, 119 Country Way. That
A barn, a
that's
pre-built.
yeah,
beam.
pre-built, yeah, post and beam barn. And that's 65 feet from the.
Yeah. So that seemed pretty straightforward.
Yeah, he understands what he needs to be doing with that. You know, as far as the stabilization and E&S. But he's far enough away, and this is just going to go on gravel.
Okay. Any other questions for John on that one?
Nope.
All right, then 2119, 38 Godman Road.
Yeah, this is the one you've seen before.
Right.
He was approved to put a small shed at the end of the driveway that was like 14 feet from the wetlands. Then he came back and he wanted to make it bigger so he could put a car. And I sent him to ZBA first because he was going to need a variance to put this larger garage in. And he was denied the variance. Thank God, because it would have been on you guys. But so I went out with him a couple of times. We looked at it. He's moved now the accessory structure all the way to the other side of the house. So it's not by the driveway. It's not by the wetlands. In fact, it's about 80 feet from the wetland.
Okay,
And that's also a pre-built on gravel. The real disturbance is going to be the driveway from the cul-de-sac to the apron of the accessory building.
okay.
Okay,
Sounds good. Nicely done.
Thanks. Yeah, finally. I missed the approval on that receipt too, by the way. So you were alone on that one.
Oh, yeah?
But we couldn't have done it anyway because Dave was offline. So,
Well, that's true, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Lee picked that up, thank you.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, so next we have approval of the minutes. I read them through. I was fine with them. I don't know, hopefully,
Yeah, I wasn't at the meeting, so it's hard for me to.
okay.
judge.
Luckily, it wasn't one of our longer multi-hour meetings.
It didn't look like it.
No, it was not.
Um,
Anybody,
I have no comment.
no comment? All right, well, does anybody want to make a motion about these? We don't miss voting on them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes that are submitted.
A second motion.
All right, any comments? No comments? All in favor of approving these minutes?
Aye.
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 Nobody's against, nobody's abstaining. All right, remarks? Do I have remarks? No, I think, John, it'd be great if you just keep us informed of the Neck Road sidewalk. That'd be great. I don't know if you're going to talk about it. I know there's some enforcement out there, or that there are issues, and I hope sometime we'll see them, maybe. But I mean, I don't hope that we see them, but I hope they get resolved. Be careful. These words.
There's just one that I'm really concerned about. The other ones are they either stopped work, and a couple of things that they wanted to do, they're going to wait until next year to do it. So you'll see those. The big one is the pond that Yale University actually I think is one of their focus ponds, I believe. That's the gentleman on Strawberry that cut down trees.
Oh, yes.
He's got Tom Stevens involved in it. He's not doing any more work. Everything is stopped. It's stabilized, but he's new to the country and basically a lot of communication problems. So I'm trying to work with Stevens to get a professional submittal, that we can look at this and start to remediate the damage that's actually been done. So
Okay.
still, we haven't forgotten about it. It's just it's not getting any worse off. It's just tough to get this thing.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, did you have any comments? It's your turn.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, it's very lovely to see you all. Does anybody want to make another motion?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Well, it was great seeing you, and we'll see you hopefully at the site walk, and then again next month.
Sounds good. Bye,
Enjoy the
everybody.
rest of the evening.
Bye, everybody.